this is turn 14. I'm doing the German turn. I'm going to give something a bit of an experimental shot here. I'm going to play the German turn as though fully here. So the builds are 5 advanced mechs, and then a stack of 2 Marines and 1 advanced mech. Lend-leasing 1 infantry to Vichy and another infantry to Spain. Building a fighter, starting 2 battle cruisers, moving the battleship that's already on the board forward, and lend-leasing the Italians destroyer. So that is the German build there. Now let's see what we got here. I have some fighters here, one from Hungary, one that was in Bavaria. They're getting involved here. I also flew one out of Romania. I got long-range aircraft, and I have an air base for that one. So they're all going to end up landing over here. So I'm just leaving them there so that they're out of the way, along with all the land forces that were in Western Germany. They're all going to be attacking into the Netherlands here. So hopefully we can nail that down a little bit. And I also got a couple of attacks in Greece. We've got Macedonia and Thessaly, I think, or Thessaly. I'm not sure. Thessa something. It's all covered up. And so I've split up the forces that were in Romania. I'm going to send a fighter and a tactical down to Thessaly, and the other fighter that's there will be going to Macedonia, and they'll be returning to Romania. All right, so let's do some rolls. Have I done my non-combat moves already? No, just my aircraft non-combat moves. So let's do some rolls. Let's do Greece first. Why not? So this one here is against a militia. We got 2 advanced artillery first strikes, 2 infantry supported by that, motorized, and a fighter. And of course, I don't know how to have my dice right next to myself. The Germans have no subs left, so we're not going to bother doing any sub attacks or convoy rolls. All right, so let's do 2 artillery first strikes at 2 because I'm in or 3 because I'm in mountains. Those are misses. Infantry supported are at 2, and we got 2 hits. They're in mountains, so they're -1, but then they're supported by artillery, so they're +1. Add them both together, and they stay the same. So that is, the militia is gone, and the militia missed. So Macedonia is over. It's worth nothing, but it is part of Greece. I believe it in the long run it is worth a victory point. All right, other one in there. We've got 2 advanced artillery. We got 1 first strike hit, so they're going to lose 1 of their mountain infantry. And we've got 2 advanced mechs at 3 instead of 4. We've got cavalry at 2. That's 2 hits. Good enough. And 1 mountain back because the other one was first strike. There we go. All right, so this one's worth $1. Thessaly, yeah, okay. This one's worth $1, so we're going to move these units in there. I have to lose 1 of mine. I'm going to say, let's lose the cavalry. So there we go. That's that. I didn't even roll those planes, but they'll fly back into Romania here. All right. Now for the Netherlands, I gotta try and put this down where I don't lose all my dudes. There we go. Okay, Netherlands. We got no first strikes, so nothing fancy. We are not crossing a river. There is no terrain, so everybody gets to roll on face value. So we've got 3 fighters at 6. That's 1 hit. We've got 2 tanks at 6. That's 2 hits. I've got 5 advanced mechs at 4. And that's 3 more hits. That's 5 hits. They only got 4 guys there, so that's it. So let's just remove that, and we'll roll the 4 in defense. Oh, at 4, that's 2 hits. Okay, so we'll lose 2 infantry. I'll take the green 3 off and give them a single 1 instead. These guys are gone. And all this stuff is in there. Somehow. We'll figure that out. It's a bit of a mess, but we'll figure it out. So that's basically that part of the turn. So, oh, I did do some non-combat moves. Never mind. I already showed them. But I'll tell you what I did here. I had 2 infantry here. They railed into Yugoslavia. I had 3 infantry over here, and 2 of them walked into Slovakia. Just to have 2 infantry on the border all the way across here. And I still have 1 more non-combat move available to myself. So I'm just going to move 1 of these infantry by rail into there. Or I could just walk 1 and walk 1, but whatever. Still got a free rail move left, and I don't think I'm going to use it right now. Alright, so builds. We're going to build 5 advanced mechs here, then nicely defend at 5. That'll be handy. We're going to throw 1 of these things into Bavaria. We'll throw 2 Marines up here. And we're going to put this on the build chart. We're going to move the battleship to stage 2 on the build chart. We're going to send this down to by rail to a shipyard for them, and we're going to buy another fighter, and we'll put that in Paris in case the Brits get some crazy ideas on strategic bombing. Maybe we can take out a bomber. That is about it for the German turn. I'm going to have to do my Vichy is attacking. Let's back up a little bit. So I had 2 infantry here at these 2 places I took last turn, and the Navy were just moving 1, dropping them off. No terrain, so it's 2 at 2 and 1 at 2 in defense. I got a bombardment of 1 and 4 at first strike. I'm going to have to switch these guys out for British in a moment, and I'll do all the money separately. You guys don't really need to see all that stuff. It's pretty boring. I mean, you might want to see it, but I don't feel like putting it all on film because it gets pretty boring for me to watch all that stuff every time. All right, so let's do 1 at 4, 1 at 1, 2 at 2, no hits for the Vichy. 1 at 2, okay, so we didn't get a double casualty on the first round. Nobody got a hit. Now it's let's make this a little bit easier here. I got purple dice, let's use those. Alright, purple's purple, blue's blue. Everybody's at 2. Look at that, we got 1 hit by the Vichy, nothing by the French. There we go. So Vichy's taken over that place with 2 infantry on it. So Vichy's taken that place from France. Vichy's now up to 6, and France is down to 1. France only makes $1 a turn from down here. So France is in a hard spot, which is exactly what I wanted to do with Vichy. I mean, if I have the ability to do that, I'm just going to keep Lend-Leasing them in from... I mean, if I didn't get the Navy, I never would have done any of this stuff. So, It is what it is, right? All right, that is the German turn. I'll do all my add-ups and everything else later, but I am going to do my wartime economy, 2d6, and that's $10, and that's it for Germany. Forgot Spain, so with Spain here, we're going to do an attack here. Infantry, and tank are all coming in here into Catalonia, and we're going to go 3 at 1. We're in mountains, so we got an attacker penalty. Alright, so 2 infantry in black and a tank in blue. It's 1s and 5. I got a 1. Perfect. So let's see if the defense takes one of my infantry off. It's a 5. That's a miss. They needed a 4. Alright, so there we go. Now I need to do the recruitment roll here. We've got 5. The recruit, 3. That's perfect. And this guy was going to move into the city anyway because I don't want them defending at a +1. So I'm just going to throw the guy that gets recruited in there. And then we already own this port, so we're going to say that this Lend-Lease arrives at that port. And there's no... There we go. Okay, so we've now successfully moved on to the Russian turn. They have gained wartime economy, advanced artillery, and heavy armor. I forgot to tell you that the Germans did complete attack transports, and I believe they started jet fighters. Everything else was a miss. All right, Russia. Russia has non-combat moved these 2 units from here, 1, 2. Couple of planes from there into Moscow. They've also railed down these 2 advanced artillery or advanced mechs from way up there down to here in Leningrad. Leningrad, they built 5 advanced mechs. They built 5 more advanced mechs here in Stalingrad, and in they built a fighter and 2 Katyushkas in there in Moscow. So they're doing all right. There is 1 attack. The aircraft that was all in here at an airbase are moving 1, 2, 3. And then they have 2 moves left to go home. I don't know where they're going to go yet. These will be non-combat moving into there. But first I got to fight this. The 1 guy off the transport we built last turn is coming from Crimea. He's going to land in there. That gives us light cruiser 1 first strike at 1. So we'll see what we get out of that. And those, we'll just see how she rolls. All right. So, coastal bombardment of 1. Totally missed. All right. We're going to do all 3 fighters, air superiority at the same time. So the orange one's going to be the Turkish. And only 1 hit by the Russian fighter. So the Turkish fighter is off. Tactical at 7. That is a miss. Oh yes, and 3 artillery at 2 because they're in mountains. Well, if I was looking for 6s and 9s, I had it. 3 infantry supported artillery at 1 or 2 in mountains, and we got 2 hits there. So we took their fighter and 2 infantry so far. We've got 2 light tanks at 3 in mountains. Not doing so well, and 1 motorized at 1. All right. So we can take 2 of these off. Nothing was first strike, and this is already rolled. So that leaves me with 4 infantry left, plus the 2 I took off. So I'm going to roll 6 infantry in defense, and we'll see what the Russian loses. 2, 4, 5, 6. One of my subscribers reminded me, thank you very much for your comment, target select at 1 against armor class or vehicle class. I can't remember which one because they're in a city. And look at that, we got a 1. That means that light tank is toast. And because they're in a city, they're +1. So they're all rolling at 5. So we got 2 regular hits and 1 armor that has to be selected. So we'll target select one of these 2 light armors and 2 regular hits. Man, we got to take 1 on the amphibious assault. He has to be taken first, and we'll lose the motorized, I guess. So that's the Russian first turn. Let's try it again. Amphibious assault is gone. All those units are unaffected. 3 at 2 for the artillery. Misses. 3 at 2 supported by artillery. 1 hit. 1 light tank. Oh. 1 hit. 1 light tank at 3. Missed. 2 fighters at 6. That's 2 hits. Now tactical at 7 is a 6. That's 3 hits. And they roll 4 back at me at 5. 2 hits on me. So we'll be taking off 3 of theirs. So they're down to 1. And we'll also be taking 2 of mine. So let's lose in the city. Wants to take it. We're going to just guess and hope that this is going to be the right move. 2 infantry. If I get attacked by the Germans next turn, it was a big mistake. But Russia's starting to stack up some units, so Germany's kind of crazy if they do that while they're building other things. All right. And Germany built some navy, so I don't trust them to do anything. So, 2 fighters at 6. There we go. We're done there, and 1 at 4, 5 back. That's a hit. So 1 each. All right. We'll just take an artillery off that time. And actually, I'm going to take the 2 artillery off last time and put the 2 infantry back. I forgot what I was doing. So we got 2 Russian infantry, or 3 Russian infantry in there now. A light tank. These planes, I'm just going to land them over here. They have 1 more move yet, but I don't really want to leave them over here. I don't really want to leave them there. I want to get these units up to the front just to be a buffer to keep the... I want to have them in range, but not at the front. I want to keep that as low-key as possible, but still have enough forces built up that if Germany goes crazy, or I decide to go crazy as the Russians, we're good. All right, that's the Russian turn. Okay, Japan's done some builds, and I've placed all the builds. I've done the non-combats, except for the vehicles that are currently in the only combat Japan's going to do right there. All right, so let's do that one. There's a coastal sub at 2, I believe it is. Let me just double check because I can never remember these coastal subs. Yeah, defense, attack and defense at 2. So I'm going to make the sub black. Alright, the sub is black, the destroyer is orange, and the tactical is green. And I'm just going to roll them all together. And everybody missed. Everybody. Actually, yeah. So everybody missed. So this coastal sub, it's going to have a beautifully hard time doing this as a British player. I would rather take a destroyer off if I can. So let's do that one more time. So the destroyer got a hit. That is all. That's kind of what I would have done anyway. All right, let's explain what all happened here. Last turn I had a big battle, and nothing survived nothing survived over here in C-Zone 82. What I did have in 83 has all been put on this card and moved back to where it used to be. And I can't remember what the number of this one is. It's somewhere around here. I'm probably covering up. 122. So that's what happened. I also used 4 of my strategic naval movements to move 2 transports and 2 elite marines from up here. I moved the 3rd transport that was up there and 2 destroyers down to here. The other 2 the 2 transports, 2 destroyers that were here, and the light cruiser have all moved to join the big fleet. And so did the cruiser that was already up there, so that moved down here as well. So I flew the carrier down empty, and I picked up the fighter and tactical that were already there. So this card's got 2 battleships, 2 fleet carriers, 1 light carrier, 3 tactical bombers, 2 fighters, 5 destroyers, 1 heavy cruiser, 1 light cruiser, and 1 torpedo boat destroyer, plus 4 transports. All right, so that's what's in there. So what I built this turn is I unlocked the light carriers that were locked on the build chart. I have the ability to build these things at, what is it called, improved construction. So I built these 2 right away. From stage 2, I just shoved them down to stage 3, got the free one. The 1 fighter I built at the factory adjacent. The other fighter was left floating in the sea. Did not move in non-combat and just stayed there and got picked up again by this carrier when it got placed. And the 3rd one will be accepting this tactical that was over there. So that is the end of that. And I also built these 5 destroyers, and I've started 2 heavy cruisers at their discount rate. So that is it. This guy's gone, and we're no longer on map cap. I'm not going to go buy new chips just because they don't say the right thing for now. I got to really run out of things to spend my money on to do that. Okay, so that's the Japanese turn. I did do a couple of other non-combats. I railed 1 light tank from that factory there, and I forgot to move this stack in there as well, just in case the Russians or the Americans do something crazy and come across and try to steal my my factory. All right, so that's the Japanese turn. They collect, where are they? 44. They get bonus for Peking, Shantung, Hunan, Guangdong. It used to be Nanking, but they took Nanking off the list and they switched it for Hong Kong. Okay, I can handle that. They also get a bonus for Sumatra and Borneo, or Java and Borneo. I don't think Sumatra is the one on the list there. Java, Borneo, Malay, which the British still have, and the Philippines. I could have taken this, but I wanted to get all my Navy in position first and build up the Navy that I have stacked up there before I start doing anything where I get myself in almost range of this stuff. This stuff's all here. It's got a range of 1, 2, 3 for everything except for the battleships and transports, because it doesn't have an improved port there. But the Americans could change that. Then it's got a range to here. And here with the transport. So we're just going to hold off on doing anything crazy with the Philippines as we consolidate our 2 fleets so that their combined force is stronger than the American fleet now, which is right where we wanted to be. All right. That is the Japanese turn. All right. I don't know if I caught all that other stuff on camera, just in case I didn't. Convoy raid, 4 off the Japanese. fighter that flew back to there, and an infantry that walked down, took out Nubia. Transport from here took these two. We're going to roll this one up here for Gibraltar. So we've got battleship at 4, 2 heavy cruisers at 2, 1 light one at 1. Alright, we've got 4 infantry at 1. Nothing. We've got a fighter at 6. Tactical at 7. Okay, we got 1 hit. That's all we needed. And we got a marine rolling back at 5. No hits. Only 1 hit out of a whole mess. Alright, so the Italians lose that place. And the British move in. Just like that, we're done. That's the British turn for the most part. I will show you that we're going to place a colonial up here. We're going to build 1 extra infantry down here. And we're going to build these 2. We're going to place rail here and here, $2 each, no terrain. And then up here in London area, we are going to be placing 2 Marines and 3 more infantry. Where all my infantry and stuff going to given to the British Gibraltar came from. Alright, so that's it. We're done that. Italy no longer has control of one end of the Med. That didn't take long. Alright, we'll see what Italy does in retaliation. There's not much that they really have options to do at the moment. Well, we'll figure that out. Okay. And on that note, British are done. Their income is now up to 28. Alright, it's time to do the Italian turn. We're just going to do one, and we're going to do this one again. 2 Marines, 4 infantry against the 4 infantry that the British brought down. I know it seems crazy, but I need to keep this fleet out. Because I can fight one or the other fleets, but I can't fight them both. So that's what we're going to do. The Italians have non-combat moved the destroyer that the Germans had lend-lease to the Italians, and then they built their own. They've also started a battle cruiser as well. Over here we have our battle, and I'm going to be bringing in from Sardinia at the airbase a movement of 2 in and 2 out, 2 fighters and a tactical. I have a damaged battleship, a regular battleship, and a regular cruiser. So I have a battleship that's not damaged at 4, a damaged battleship that's at 3, and a cruiser at 2. Nothing. Alright, so be it. We got 2 fighters at 6. That's 1 hit. Tactical at 7. That's another hit. It's target selected, but it doesn't matter. 2 Marines at 1. And 4 infantry at 1 as well, because I'm attacking mountains. Alright. So the British have 4 at 5 back, and they get 1 hit. So that's 2 of theirs. And I lose 1, but I brought a Marine, so I don't have double casualties. And now the next round there is no double casualties. So I'm going to roll my aircraft together. The black one is the tactical. And I only get 1 hit out of that. And 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 at 1. No hits, man. I really need some hits here. 2 at 5 back, 1 hit. So we'll lose in standard infantry. And they lose 1 as well. He's drunk. 2 fighters at 6. That's the hit I needed. And 1 at 3 in defense, and that's a miss. Or sorry, 5 in defense because of the city bonus. Okay, so we've taken it. So this has been a busy turn. Britain took it, and then the Italians took it back. They can still probably lose it again, but we can keep playing this game for a few turns yet. So we're going to land those guys back there again. And that is the roll-in. And I'm just going to place 4 infantry into Rome where those 4 came out of. And we're done. So, actually we're not done. I forgot about this sub here. We'll move this sub over to here. It's crazy, but let's do ourselves. Okay, 1 on the defense, a black one, and a red one. All right, so black is the sub +2, red is the defense at +3, and the D12 is the anti-submarine warfare shot at it. All right, so we're +3, so we're 7. There, sorry, we're +3, so we're 6. And they are +3, so they're also 6. +2 for the sub, +1 for anti-submarine warfare, and +2 for radar. So that's 6 and 6. Nothing happens. Never mind. All right, that's it for this turn. I'll have to figure out the U.S. The French only had $2, so they just saved $1 and collected 1, or saved $2 and collected 1. Now they can afford to buy an infantry. Okay, the American turn. They had a whole pile of money, $76, I believe. They spent a pile of it on 3 transports, 3 destroyers. And these ones were already here. They've also moved up 5 elite Marines, 1 regular infantry, the carrier, and the rest of the fleet. On 3 transports halfway to London. I'm not exactly sure where we're going to have a coordinated landing, but we need to start figuring that out soon. This whole messing around back and forth with Gibraltar is one thing, but we need to get a firm foothold somewhere. And Gibraltar is just a sideshow as far as I'm concerned if I'm playing as the Americans. We could whip in here and beat up the Italians, but that gives the Germans tons and tons of money to just build up and keep on taking over little places. Speaking of which, I see I forgot to align the Germans with Bulgaria here. So that needs to be done as well. I'll do that on the German turn, or I'll do that on the summary video here. So that's what's going on there. They've built a transport and then leased it to this fancy port here that can accept something larger than 3, like the white ones are limited to. So there we go. They got a transport and 2 infantry and a whole $3 in their bank account. Now on this side here, this attack happened last turn, so let me take that off. What I have done is I've moved these subs forward from their sub base. They only have a move of 1, but with the base they got 2. Maybe next turn I'll be able to use these things to hassle the Japanese. The British already hassled the Japanese there. That was last round as well. But I'm going to try this out here. See what happens. So we'll do a convoy roll. Pretty simple. Black is attacker. Okay, so +2 for the sub, and this 5 is bigger than 4. Nothing happens. That's okay. The Japanese already lost $4 on this line, courtesy of the Australians. So the Australians have already made up half their income by taking it away from Japan.